Hi students, welcome to EPG Pathshala, an e-content project under National Mission on Education through ICT. I am Mini Ulnat, working as Systems Manager in Cochin University of Science and Technology. Today, I am going to introduce you to Computer Fundamentals. This module is coming under the paper ICT for Libraries. We live in an information-rich world, and it has become a necessity for everyone not only to know about computers but be well versed with it. The purpose of this module is to introduce you about the computer system and the fundamentals of computer system. The functions of a computer can be categorized into 5. It mainly takes data as input, stores the data and instruction in its memory and use them as and when required. It processes the data and converts it into useful information. It provides the output and controls and manages all the above 4 functions. Oxford Dictionary defines computer as an electronic device which is capable of receiving data in a particular form and of performing a sequence of operations in accordance with a predetermined but variable set of procedural instructions to produce a result in the form of information or signals. Computer system is an electronic data processing device which does the following: accept and store an input data, process the data input and output the product. The main advantage of computers in today's world are high speed, accuracy, storage capability, diligence, versatility, reliability, automation, reduction in paperwork and reduction in cost. The following list demonstrates the disadvantages of computers also. There is no intelligence involved. A computer is a machine which has no intelligence of its own to perform any task. Each and every instruction has to be given to the computer. It cannot take any decision on its own. Now, second point is a dependency. It can perform function as instructed by the user. It's fully depending on the human being. The third point is the environment. The operating environment should be dust-free and suitable for operating. There is no feelings or emotions. It cannot make any judgment based on feeling, taste, experience and knowledge unlike a human being. Now let us see the areas where computer applications is possible. You name it, you have it there. Let it be business, libraries, education, insurance, marketing, healthcare, engineering design, military communication, government application, etc., etc., etc. Now, coming to the various parts, input unit and output unit. What is an input unit? Input devices or input units are used to give data to the computer. This unit makes interface between the user and the computer. The input user translates the human being information into a form understandable by the computer. Take the output unit. What is the purpose of output unit? It is a device with the help of which we get the information from the computer. This unit is a link between the computer and the user. So the output translates the computer's output into the form understandable by the user. Next is the memory or the storage unit. Memory or the storage unit stores all the instructions, data and intermediate results, and this supplies the information to the other units of computer as and when needed. It is also known as main memory or primary storage, or more commonly used as random access memory or RAM. The size of this memory affects the speed, power and capability of the system as a whole. The memory may be divided into primary memory, which constitutes of RAM, as well as read-only memory, which is a built-in memory of the system, and the secondary storage, or better known as secondary memory. Central processing unit. CPU or the central processing unit is considered as the brain of the computer. CPU performs all types of data processing operation. It stores data, intermediate results and instructions. It controls the operations of all parts of computers. CPU has the following 3 components. Constitutes arithmetic logical unit, memory unit and control unit. Let us see the functions of these units. Control unit, all the functions and the units are controlled by the control unit, as the name itself suggests. It is responsible for controlling the transfer of data and instruction among other units of the system. It manages and coordinates all the units of the computer. It obtains the instructions from the memory, interprets them, and directs the operations of the computer. It communicates with the input and output devices for the transfer of data or the results from the storage. Arithmetic logical unit consists of two subsections, arithmetic and logical. Arithmetic section, the function of arithmetic section is to perform all the arithmetic operations, namely addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The complex operations are done by making repetitive use of these primary operations. Coming to logic section, the function of logic section is to perform logic operations such as comparing, selecting, matching, and merging of data. The following are the other important input devices which may be used in the computer system, like keyboard, mouse, joystick, light pen, trackball, scanner, graphic table, microphone, magnetic ink card reader or MICR, we have seen the MICR checks, OCR, that is optical character reader, barcode reader, and optical mark reader. Coming to the output devices, the following are some of the important output devices which are used in computer system: monitors, graphic plotters, printers. When you talk about the printers, there are two important types of printers. One we call it as impact printer and the other one is a non-impact printer. Take the impact printer, there are again two categories of impact printers: character printers and line printer. Character printer may be again categorized as dot matrix printers or DMP and daisy wheel printers. Line printers are further classified as a drum printer and chain printer. Take the case of non-impact printers. The printers that print the characters without striking against the ribbon or onto the paper are called the non-impact printers. These printers print a complete page at a time and also called as page printers. Basically, there's laser printers and inkjet printers belong to this category. The main characteristic of the non-impact printers are it is very fast, very less noisy, quality of print is also very high. The size of the printer is also very less small. Now, coming to the memory, computer memory is just like a human brain. It is used to store data and instructions. Computer memory is a storage space in the computer where data to be processed and instruction required for the processing are stored. There are three categories of memory: cache memory, primary memory or the main memory, and the secondary memory. First, we'll see what cache memory is. Cache memory is a high-speed semiconductor memory which can speed up the CPU. It acts as a buffer between CPU and main memory. It is used to hold those parts of data and a program which are most frequently used by the CPU. The parts of data and programs are transferred from disk to cache memory by the operating system, from where CPU can access them. The advantage of cache memory is that it is faster than main memory and consumes less access time as compared to the main memory. It stores a program that can be executed within a short period of time and for temporary use. But the disadvantage is it is very expensive and the capacity is limited. Now, take the case of primary memory or the main memory. Primary memory holds only those data and instruction on which computer is currently working. It has a limited capability and data gets lost when the power is switched off. It is generally made up of semiconductor devices and the memory is not as fast as registers. The data and instructions required to be processed earlier reside in main memory. It is divided into two subcategories: RAM and ROM, random access memory and read-only memory. The characteristics of the main memory are, these are all basically the semiconductor memory. It is also volatile memory, that is the data is lost in case power is switched off. And it is working, but it's a basic main memory and is the working memory of the computer. It is faster than all the secondary memories and a computer cannot run without primary memory. Coming to the secondary memory. This type of memory is also known as external memory or the non-volatile or the permanent storage. It is slower than main memory, but these are used for storing the data or information permanently. The contents of the secondary memories are transferred to the main memory and the CPU can access it. A typical example of secondary memory is the disk, CD-ROM, DVD, or the hard disk. The characteristics of the secondary memory. These are magnetic or optical memories. It is a non-volatile memory, but it's slower than primary memory. We will see the main memory RAM in detail. Random access memory, RAM, constitutes the internal memory of the CPU for storing data, program and program results. We can retrieve the information from this memory at random and extremely fast, but it is expensive. That is, RAM is volatile and the data stored is lost when we switch off the system or if there is a power failure. There are two types of RAM. One is called the static RAM or SRAM and dynamic RAM or DRAM. Coming to the other primary memory, that is ROM, stands for read-only memory. The memory from which we can only read but cannot write on it. This type of memory is a non-volatile and the information is stored permanently during the manufacturing. ROM stores instructions that is required to start a computer when electricity is first turned on. This operation is known as bootstrapping. Certain instructions are prefetched etched into the ROM at the time of manufacturing. Now, following are the various types of ROMs available. One is a masked ROM. This very first ROMs were hardwired devices that contain the pre-programmed set of data or instructions. These kinds of ROMs are known as masked ROM and it is less expensive. We have PROM or programmable read-only memory that can be modified only once by a user. It can be programmed only once and not erasable. Then there is EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. EPROM can be erased by exposing it to ultraviolet light for a duration of up till 40 minutes. There is EEPROM, that is electrically erasable and programmable read-only memory, which is programmed and erased electrically. It can be erased and reprogrammed about 10,000 times. Both erasing and programming takes about 4 to 10 milliseconds. That's about the memory. Now we'll see what is a motherboard. A motherboard or the main board system board is the main printed circuit board or PCB found in computers and other expandable systems. It holds many of the crucial electronic components of the system. This includes central processing unit, CPU, memory, and provide connectors for other peripherals. The motherboard serves as a single platform to connect all parts of the computer together. We'll see the memory units. Higher storage units are as follows. Like how do you store your information, or what is the measure of information? We store information in terms of bits and bytes. A 1 or 0 is called a bit, that is binary digit. 1 kilobyte is 1024 bytes, which is usually the notation is KB. 1 MB or megabyte is 1024 kilobytes. The higher noting is gigabytes. 1 GB is about 1024 MB. Then comes terabyte. 1 terabyte is 1024 gigabytes. Then goes to petabyte. 1 petabyte is about 1024 terabytes. That is how the information is stored. Another important unit of computer is a port. What is a port? Computer port is a physical docking point using which an external device can be connected to the system. External devices are connected through using cables and ports. These are the slots on the motherboard into which the cable of the external device is plugged in. Examples, when I say external devices, it includes the attachment via ports, which includes mouse, keyboard, monitor, microphone, speakers, everything. Some of the important types of ports available on the motherboard are Serial port, which is mainly used for external modems, and the older computer mouse also used the serial port. Parallel ports, these are used for scanners and printers, and PS2 ports again for the earlier keyboards and mouse. Now we have the USB or the Universal Serial Bus port, which can connect all kinds of external USB devices like your external hard disk, your printer, your scanner, your mouse, keyboard, etc. VGA port connects the monitor to a computer's video card. The power connector connects to the computer's power cable that plugs into the power bar or the wall circuit. There is a 5-wire port which transfers large amount of data at very fast speed. This connects the camcorders and similar video equipments to the computer. Here, the data travels at the rate of 400 to 800 Mbps. This was basically invented by Apple. There are 3 variants like 4-pin 5-wire 400 connector, 6-pin 5-wire 400 connector, or 9-pin 5-wire 800 connector. Modem connects the PCs to the telephone network. There is an Ethernet port which connects the network to the high-speed internet. Then the digital video interface or DVI port connects a flat panel LCD monitor to a computer's high-end video graphics card. Then there are other sockets which connects microphones, speakers to the sound card, etc. That is about the hardware. Now let us see what the software is. Software, when you say computer software, it's a set of programs which are designed to perform a well-defined function. A program is a sequence of instructions written to solve a particular problem. There are basically 2 types of software. One we term it as system software and the other one is the application software. Some comparison between the features of the system software and the application software can be given as like system software is close to the system and very fast in execution, whereas the application software is more closer to the user. That is, the user has got some application with it. It is easy to design. System software is difficult to design, whereas application software is more of interactive. The user need not understand the complexities of the system software, and it is very less interactive. It is difficult to manipulate, and it is generally written in a low-level language, whereas application softwares are mostly written in high-level language. It is easy to understand, very easy to manipulate, and the size is also bigger compared with the system software. The number system that is followed in computer, let us see how this information storage is happening. Earlier we saw the bit and byte. So numerical data may be stored as bits and bytes. But when we type some letters or words, the computer has to translate them into numbers. Computers can understand only numbers. So how will it translate this? So computer understand positional number system, whereas where there are only few symbols called digits, and these symbols represent different values depending on the position they occupy. Radix or base is defined as the total number of digits available in this number system. Decimal number system has base 10 as it uses 10 digits from 0 to 9. In decimal number system, the successive positions to the left of the decimal point represent units, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. Now coming to the binary number system, it uses just 2 digits, 0 and 1, and therefore it is called the base 2 number system. Each position in the binary number represents power of base 2. Another number system we use is octal number system, which uses 8 digits, that is from 0 to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is also called as base 8 number system. Each position in an octal number represents power of the base. Hexadecimal number system uses 10 digits and 6 letters, that is in total 16. From 0 to 9, then followed by A, B, C, D, E, F. Letter represents numbers starting from 10, that is A is equivalent to 10, B is equivalent to 11, C is equivalent to 12, D 13, E represents 14, and F represents 15. That is about the number system. We will see what is a data now. What is data? Data can be defined as the representation of facts, concepts, or instructions in a formalized manner, which should be suitable for communication, interpretation or processing by human or electronic machine. Data is represented with the help of characters like alphabets like A to Z, can be capital or small, digits 0 to 9 or special characteristics plus, minus and similar. The data is basically divided into numeric and non-numeric data. What is information? Information is organized or classified data so that it has some meaningful value to the receiver. Data is a raw information actually. Information is the processed data on which the decisions and actions are based. For the decisions to be meaningful, the processed data must qualify the following characteristics. That is, it should be timely, that is, information should be available as and when required. It should be accurate, the information provided should be accurate. Completeness, the information should be complete in all manner. That is about the information, data and information. So, processed data is information. Computer networking is an important area which needs special mention due to the wide application of networks in almost all fields of human life. A computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. The main characteristic of a computer network, or why we are networking, first is used to communicate, second one to share the resources from one system to another. It creates the files and stores them in one computer, access those from the other computer connected over the network. Resources can be shared, like for example, connect a printer and scanner or a fax machine to one computer within the network. Let the other computers of the network also make use of the machines available. So that is the main advantage of the network. What is the requirement for setting up such a network? The minimum requirement includes cables, router, network interface cards, switches and hubs. So a computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. This is basically to communicate and share resources in different manner. So for creating a network, we need a hardware setup of network cables, routers, network interface card, switches and hubs. We are living in a network world, and internet is the platform by which we are communicating with each other. With this, let me conclude this module on fundamentals of computing. Thank you very much.